Hi, guys, and welcome to today's episode of Tired Granolla Podcast. I am your host, the best one of all, Ronnoc, and today's guest is the host of the Rivalry Podcast, who I was recently on his, called the Mega Monster Mash Variety Power Hour 3000. And here's our guest now. Welcome, Cameron. Thank you for coming on my show.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I'm so excited to be here talking to you. I had a really fun time talking to you last time.
It was cool going on your show.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm just excited to be on. I watched a lot of your videos and I enjoy your interview style, sort of like the two-part thing. I'm excited to be on. Yeah,
Which one was your favorite, if you don't mind me asking?
I really like the one with the woman who was a. I don't want to mess up what her job was, but like I don't want to say seer, but she could like read minds and stuff.
Sidekick?
Yeah, I've never gone to a psychic, but I'm really considering it after watching that. I thought it was just hearing her talk about her job and stuff was really cool.
First starting off, what was your childhood like? Could you tell me about yourself?
Yeah, I feel like I had a pretty normal childhood. I was lucky enough to have both my parents. They were like together my entire childhood and still are. So I had like a really stable childhood. It was just pretty fun. I remember I just used to ride my bike. I was just, I had a very normal childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked going to school and stuff. I played tennis. I still play tennis. Yeah, and then I went to college.
Is tennis sport you do professionally, or is it just for fun?
No, no, I'm very bad at tennis. If I played against someone professional, I would not score a single point. I would truly be lucky to hit the ball back. But yeah, I play recreationally with just like my friends and stuff.
I get you. I mainly play in school myself.
Yeah, I played tennis in high school and I had a lot of fun doing that. It was really fun. We got to like travel, like went to states. It was a big really fun time.
Oh, you actually? I was talking about just in PE where you they put it up occasionally, and then you got to hit it back and forth.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's always
Oh.
fun.
You actually were on the tennis team or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I was on the tennis team for all of like high school. So yeah, I like went to practice every day after school, went to like some tournaments, played other schools. I got out of school early a lot. That was awesome.
What kind of kid were you like?
Yeah, so as a kid, I was very good. I always went to class. I got like straight A's and stuff. It's mostly whenever I got to college that the skipping started because it was like, you know, I was living in a dorm. I was living with my friend, and yeah, I could just like no one was really holding me accountable. So yeah, I did start skipping school in college, but as a young child, I was a pretty good kid. Straight A's, I doing sports, all that kind of stuff.
What age were you?
Probably like 18.
So I'm guessing
Yeah.
your senior year.
Yeah, it was like my freshman year of college. Maybe I was 19, I don't know. 18 or 19. Definitely not before then.
What made you skip? Was it just because you didn't care or what?
I was really good. I was like paid attention a lot in school, in high school. So like some of the classes the first year were like repeating stuff that I already knew. And then also, whenever I went to college, COVID had happened. So a lot of the school classes were like, you could either go to the class in person or you could join through a Zoom call. And so you could just like join through a Zoom call and then just like go do something else. But yeah, that was the main reason was that it was just like, it was very boring and I was not required to go because of the COVID rules.
Not to make it about me because it's about you, but it's funny because I have no memory of COVID, and you're out here just in college and everything.
I was like 18 when it happened. I was in a senior or yeah, I was a junior in high school. Maybe I was a senior. I don't know. But yeah, I couldn't go to prom. Everything started to like open back up whenever I went to college.
What did you think about college? Besides skipping, what was your idea around it?
Yeah, so I'm going to college right now for biology. Not only through like the classroom, like learning a ton of stuff about topics I'm really interested in, like birds and stuff, but yeah, just like experiencing living with people my own age for just like a few years just really like helped form me like during like my formative years when I was like 18, 19, 20. uh I got to like grow up around them, and it was just I met a lot of really good people, and yeah, I like grew into an adult.
And how old did you say? I maybe you said it already. I apologize, but like, how old did you say you were?
I am 22 years old.
Okay, so you're like a full. You're like a. You're in society's eyes. You're a full grown adult.
Yeah, I'm like I'm pretty much an adult. I don't always feel like it, but yeah, I'm an adult. Strange to say, it's very weird.
Going back, like let's go back just a little bit to like what your high school years. Back in the day, like what was high school like for you?
High school was fine. I didn't really enjoy it that much because
Yeah.
you have to go somewhere 5 days a week for 8 hours a day, and like I didn't really I was kind of like a loner. I didn't have that many friends. It was fine, it was cool. It was a good experience, I guess.
Were you like the quiet kid, or you were just an loner?
Yeah, I was just quiet. I had like friends and stuff, but like I had friends and like I would sit with people at lunch, but I just kind of kept to myself.
Can you tell me about your family?
Yeah, so I have a mom and dad, and then I have a little brother Brady. Yeah, Brady, he's like I think he just entered the 5th grade, 5th or 6th. But yeah, there's a pretty big gap between us, so we aren't really that close just because like I live away from home. But yeah, my little brother, he's pretty cool. I love seeing him at like holidays and stuff. We play Fortnite together a lot. That's like our main thing we do. But yeah, my mom and dad are pretty sweet. I have a grandma and grandpa who are very nice to me, and I love seeing them. And then yeah, I also have a cat.
And your brother and you, like it's like 12 years probably. If I had to estimate,
Yeah, that sounds like a good. I think that might be exactly it.
because you're 22, and I'm estimating like fifth grade's like probably 10 years. That's 11,
Yeah,
something like that.
sounds, sounds like 12.
Is your relationship with him like is it different? Because I've heard different responses around videos and people talking about like get age gap relationship.
No, it's like fine. It's just if we were like closer in age, we'd have similar interests, but he's so much younger than me that really our only thing in common that like we both like is like Fortnite. Like we don't watch like any of like the same like TV shows, or he probably doesn't even watch TV. He's probably just on like YouTube. But yeah,
Yeah,
we just like don't we don't have anything in common like that, but yeah, we're family, so
gotta
like
make it work.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What's your brother's interest?
In school, he plays football, so he's kind of like doing that. He's a wide receiver, which yeah, I played tennis, so like I can't even connect to like a football player. I don't know, I don't know what that's like at all. But yeah, so he has like a just like a completely different interest in like football. It's pretty much like his big thing.
Is sports like a big thing in your family, or is it just like you just picked it up? I guess that randomly.
Well, I was just kind of interested in tennis, and some of my friends were doing it, so I picked it up. Like I did as a kid, I played baseball and some soccer. So yeah, my dad was like, he was like, you have to do a sport. So I definitely was out there doing stuff.
I tried doing bowling myself, but like I only kept going because like it was free bowling. Yeah, I never
Uh
actually
huh.
made the team, so it kind of sucked.
Yeah. Well, bowling's pretty hard. If I go and play a game for an entire night, I might get one strike. I just have not gotten the hang of it. But yeah, free bowling sounds awesome.
I will admit that is one of the perks. I've at least, but I can actually do maybe a spare and a couple of strikes now. So that's definitely one of the things from getting teaching and all that.
Yeah, yeah. If you keep working on it, you'll probably be able to get like a 300.
Man, sky's the limit, I guess.
Yeah, I've only ever done that on Wii bowling. I had to look up like the perfect angle and just hit it every single time, but it was a pretty satisfying feeling.
Were there any key moments in your life, like anything that like hit big to you?
Yeah, in high school, I worked on a farm, and I was doing like a bunch of farm activities for like 2 years, and that influenced me pretty heavily because I was getting paid a lot of money. So I was like, it influenced me to like try to make money. I was like, I need to do this. And then also just like, yeah, it was a lot of hard work and stuff. I think doing it like I I'm able to like do shitty stuff like during school and like I'm fine with it because I did all
Uh-huh.
that stuff. I just kept pushing through it. I'd like wake up super early. But yeah, it like made me a better person and then it really changed who I am. I like started drinking coffee because of it. I'd wake up at we'd like start picking at like 7. So I'd wake up at 6 and I'd get like a giant extra large Dunkin' latte and then drink the entire thing on like a 10-minute drive over. It was nuts.
What was the job, if you're cool with me asking?
Yeah, I was a field worker. So I just I picked corn in the mornings and then whenever they would bale hay, uh I would be in the back like stacking the hay. And then I also got promoted at a certain point because I was good with math to selling corn and like other vegetables on the side of the highway in like a little stand.
How much did you make?
Um, this is yeah, I made a lot of money. I started out at 15 per hour for picking. I got raised to 18 because me and this other guy, they called him the kid. Everyone had nicknames on the farm, but they called him the kid because he started there when he was extremely young and he was just like frantic. And so he was like the golden boy wonder child, and so his nickname was the kid. But him and I, the farmer, would drive behind us in it's like a tractor with a bucket, and there'd be 3 rows of corn, and there'd be 3 of us picking, and we just put the corn in the bucket, and then we'd sort it, and then put it in a wagon in the back. But with me and him, it only took 2 people to pick the 3 rows. So I got raised to 18 an hour for that. Baling hay, it was a lot harder, so we got paid like 25 an hour, and then selling corn on the side of the road was 12 bucks an hour.
So you were like one of the best ones, at least at your job at the time?
Yeah, yeah, there were like 5 of us, and me and the kid were like by far the greatest.
This might be a stupid question, but did you and the kid keep in touch, or was it just a job you kind of just worked out?
Yeah, yeah, I have him on Snapchat. And it kind of brings me to a funny thing. My nickname on the farm. This is kind of a funny story. I have this theory that whenever you ever heard of the movie Caddy Shack?
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
It's just like an old man golf movie. Bill Murray. It's pretty funny. It's kind of funny, I guess. But any old guy you see who has like white hair or no hair, if you make a Caddyshack reference to them within 5 minutes of meeting them, they're gonna love you forever. Because they're gonna be like, "Oh, this kid is funny and he gets it." So I did it at my to him, and I like referenced Caddyshack the first time meeting the farmer, and so my nickname was a character from that movie. There's a scene where Rodney Dangerfield he arrives at the golf course with he's like a boisterous old man. He's like really funny, but he's just like saying what's on his mind. And he has a tourist with him, and the tourist is just taking photos of like everything. So he's like amazed to be in America. And so Rodney Dangerfield goes, "Come on, that's just the parking lot, Wang."
Hey, Wayne, what's with the pictures? It's a parking lot. Come on, will you?
So my nickname was Wang for the entire time that I worked there from that line in the movie Caddy Shack. So yeah, it was Wang and the kid, and then there was another kid who worked there we called Spud, just like a normal name. And then there was a guy, his name was the Snowman because he would sweat so much. There was a kid called Snake. His real name was Jacob, and it was Jake Snake after Jake the Snake Roberts, the wrestler. Then there's a guy named Slim because he was tall and lanky. That one's pretty easy to guess, but yeah, I think that's like everyone. That's like most of the people on the farm's nicknames.
That I love them. As you should know, you're on a podcast. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so my podcast, the Mega Monster Mash Variety Power Hour 3000, I host it with my co-host Arthur Alvarez. And yeah, we just talk about monsters and interview people every week. To be honest, I have not uploaded a few videos in a while because I've been busy with school. But yeah, we're gonna get on that soon. But yeah, we just it's like we've interviewed Nosferatu, we've interviewed you. Who you're not a monster, but I was interested in getting people like other podcasters on our podcast to see like yeah,
The dark side.
yeah, yeah. Just yeah, I was just interested in that, And so yeah, we've had other celebrities on too, like Corn Kid. But yeah, we just interview people and talk about our lives and just other stuff that may interest us and monsters, and ghouls and such.
When I was on your show, you guys were separated. Is that like just a one-time thing, or do you guys like work? Like, are you guys together or what?
Yeah, we are separated. We currently live far away. We grew up together. So our but he has like a wife and kids now. So I'm going to college. So we're just like living in two different parts of the world. Not parts of the world, but he's like in the suburbs and I'm in college campus.
Is that why he's not here? Just because he has kids and a life to fulfill too?
Yeah, I think I forget what he had to do, but I think it might just be late on a Sunday. He might just have work tomorrow, or like
No, I
I
get
don't know.
that.
Yeah. So do I.
So you mainly do like interviews, like I do, kind of in a way.
Yeah, I guess our interviews are much less
They're more goofy.
concentrated. Yeah, we sort of just talk with the guests and just ask them about topics that we're interested in, instead of like asking them about like their life and stuff like that.
What roles do you do? Like, does one person like do the searching for people out, and then the other does the editing, or like how do you guys work?
So I'm pretty much like the main. I do like pretty much everything. Arthur is just he just gets on and talks to me. But yeah,
Just
Arthur, I'll bounce ideas off him, and we're like a creative duo. But I'm the one who has the time to like do this stuff.
not to make it sound bad, but if only you are able to really do it, how come he's doing it if he doesn't have any time really with his family and stuff?
I just like talking to him, and I think that he brings a quality to the podcast that I couldn't. And yeah, it's not that I do it 'cause it's like he won't. I'm just interested in doing it. I really like creating it, like all the editing and video editing and all that stuff. I'm just interested in it.
You've done like, I believe, like 8 episodes now. Am I correct?
Yeah, I believe 8. I'm 8 or 9 or 7.
Which one your favorite so far?
My favorite guest probably was Nosferatu. He's been on a few times. He's a really cool guy, and getting to know him has been really fun. He sends me just like the funniest emails. I had my brother on, which was pretty sweet. That was the day that Arthur couldn't come, so I brought Brady in as a backup.
I bet. Which one was that?
Let me check the title of it. It is the Mega Monster Mash Variety Power Hour 3000 Episode 7. I also did a gaming video, which is pretty sweet.
Was it just like you asked him and he said sure, or how did you get him on?
Yeah, I had to ask him, and then I didn't really tell him about the premise of the show. He was kind of like tricked into it a little bit. I don't think he'd want to do it otherwise, but as his older brother, I can do that.
Why wouldn't he want to come on?
He just like has better stuff to do in his eyes. Like,
Okay, I
he'd rather
bet
be,
you.
like, playing video games and stuff. It's like,
Well, I
yeah.
respect the passion. Speaking of Nosferatu, in a nice way, how did you first meet him?
Yeah, so I did the first few guests I got through my Facebook. Just like searching on Facebook for anyone I could, and then yeah, the new like recent movie came out. And so I was like, he would be a great guest as a monster. And so yeah, I Facebooked him, I Facebook messaged him, and then I was able to get him to come onto the show and then foster a relationship with me.
Huh?
Oh, I was just clarifying I said relationship, but I was just clarifying it was a friendship.
Aw, you guys aren't together or something? Aw.
No,
Don't worry, I respect it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, don't worry. But you guys are good friends. That's but since the messaging, you kind of became friends in a way.
Yeah, we email each other a lot of like funny YouTube videos and GIFs and stuff like that, or GIFs, I guess. It's mostly just like sending him those memes and then telling him to stop coming into my dreams.
So like a pen pal relationship in a sense.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of like a pen pal, except we don't really like speak much. It's mostly just communication through.
Isn't that just pen pal though?
I feel like a pen pal, you have to like write like how you're doing and like what you've been up to and stuff.
Even if it's electronic, it's still, you're writing to each other.
I've only ever had a pen pal in like Spanish class.
You had one of those classes?
Yeah, I had a pen pal in Spain.
Oh, I bet. Was he chill?
Yeah, his name was Diego. and he played soccer. I did not play soccer, so like I really could not speak to him a lot about stuff. I also was just really bad at Spanish. We did it the first year of learning Spanish, and so all I could really say was like "Hola, me llamo Kike."
I can speak to maybe like 13 at the most, and then, the rest of the regular small words.
Yeah, I'm not very good at speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Que lastima. That means what a shame in Spanish. That's like the only thing I know.
Darn.
Mhm.
Yeah. Going from that, where the hell did you come up with the name the Mega Monster Mash Variety Power Hour 3000, and why is it so damn long?
Okay, so this kind of has a little bit of explaining to do.
I would love to hear it.
Every kind of part in the name has meaning. So the Monster Mash is inspired by the song and dance.
Yeah.
The Power Hour is inspired by like early TV shows. They'd have like Power Hours, and then the variety is also in that they'd have like variety shows, and then mega is important because I try to make the episodes an hour long, which I would consider a mega long time. And it also is an M, so there's a little bit of alliteration with Mega Monster Mash. And then the 3000 comes from Mystery Science Theater 3000. I like that show.
I've never heard of it. Is it like an old TV show?
Yeah, it's this guy and these robots review bad movies. It's pretty funny. I enjoy it. I throw it up on YouTube sometimes.
Is it like one of those things where you like see in science class and it just like like that guy and the robot kind of?
Yeah. It's like old Adult Swim. It's really weird.
Maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, you might find it funny.
Did you and Arthur did you guys start a pod like as a joke, or like what was that like?
I mainly just started it because I enjoy creating stuff. I had a blog for a bit, but it was just like a lot of work typing stuff out. I enjoy like having a conversation with somebody more than just like refining paragraphs upon paragraphs. I also was a delivery driver for a bit. I was working like Uber Eats and stuff. So I was like listening to a lot of podcasts and a lot of Norm Macdonald stand up, which inspired me.
Are you still like doing the blog, or was that like a long time ago?
It was a few months ago. I haven't made a post in a while. There was a bit where I was posting like every few days. It was mainly because somebody was hating on my blog and started a counter blog, and we were just constantly at war with each other. And so that was occupying a lot of my free time. His name was Chris Newman, and he no longer appears to be on the internet. I think he might have like died. I don't fucking care. But yeah, I don't say like it doesn't matter. He's a non-person. Not having to like fight him constantly has opened up a lot of my time to now create this podcast.
Why not just leave him be and just like let him slowly die off?
Well, he hasn't made a blog or responded to my comments.
What exactly was so bad that he did?
Oh well, his blog was like promoting terrorism, and it was heinous. If you saw it, you would not like it.
So Nazi shit.
I wouldn't go that far, but I would definitely say that it was damaging for like the world and children.
Was there anything else you wanted to add to that?
The blog's name is Bart Harley Jarvis World at .blogspot.com. If you want to check it out.
If you want to check that out, it's down in the description.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And don't leave so soon. Me and Cameron actually have a second part. He wanted to talk about the theory that he had in mind. Can you what was the theory again?
Yeah, so I've been researching the conspiracy theory that there is a cure for cancer and that is being suppressed.
How long ago did you come up with this theory?
Yeah, so I really don't like the United States healthcare system. Like insurance companies and hospitals and like pharmaceutical companies, it could just be so much easier and cost so much less money, but it's terrible. It's just really bad. If anyone's ever had to deal with the US healthcare system, you know what I'm talking about. Where it's just like, it's disgusting. It's basically based around the plot that make more money off like a subscription, like chemotherapy, than you can, like a treatment like that, than you can off one singular treatment that would just like cure the cancer. It's really easy to like believe this because the people at like the top of healthcare companies and like pharmaceutical companies upcharge so much for medication, and they make it so hard to get like any reasonable help with like delay, deny, defend, like on the insurance claims. You just kind of start to think about it.
When did you kind of start speaking out about this?
I guess I've never really spoken out about it. I just kind of researched it. People online have like written a lot of articles about it and stuff. The more I've done research about it, the more interesting it gets. When you look into like cancer, all that cancer is just cells multiplying when they shouldn't be. So this can just happen for like any sort of reason. Like your DNA could just get a mutation that like makes it so that it just keeps replicating. There could be like a carcinogen that you're like ingesting, like smoking, it does that to your lungs, where like can cause, you can do like behaviors that influence cancer to start. Cancer is just such like a diverse disease that is really hard to kind of create a cure for it, because a cure for like lung cancer realistically like wouldn't cure any other type of cancer, if that makes sense, because it's like different types of cells. And then cancer is just so unpredictable that it's really hard to treat for that reason as well, because like it can just spread so easily and just like without reason. So as I've done more research, I've kind of learned that the scary part about it is that there is no real solid cure, because it is so unpredictable and everyone's cancer is different. It's very hard to treat for that reason.
You know how many variations there are of cancer?
No, but every single organ can get cancer. So like your skin, your brain, like your blood, that might be like something that can have cancer. I'm not sure about bone marrow, but I know it can just like happen anywhere on the body. It's a very scary disease. That's what it's like researching it has taught me. It's like incredibly scary.
Did you kind of start looking this up? Like, did you lose someone because of cancer, or like did you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm very lucky that no one in my family I've never known anyone to have died of cancer, like suffered from it. There was a kid in my school who was like many grades below me who had brain cancer, which is like really sad.
Man, that's sad.
Yeah, he was in like 3rd or 4th grade, and it was just like every year there'd be like a ton of fundraisers for it and everything. I'm not sure what happened to him. Probably have to look into that. I just remember seeing him, and it was just like, it was shocking, just like how different my life could have been.
You don't know if he survived though, or like what happened to him really?
No, he was 4 grades below me. So when I was in the middle school, he was like just entering. So then I left for high school. We were like only in the same building for 1 year at a time. I only saw him for like a bit. I never like interacted with him or anything.
So he's probably like in high school now?
Yeah, he'd probably be like
a junior
or like a senior. Yeah.
Do you think money is based around any of like the medical advancements needed to improve?
I think that money kind of influences everything in the world, and that's why like a lot of stuff is kind of the way it is, and why it isn't. It's like designed to make stuff is designed to make money more so than it is to provide convenience. You can see this in like products with like planned obsolescence. Like a washing machine from like 40 years ago could be kept for an entire lifetime, but current ones like need to be replaced constantly, like iPhones, all that kind of stuff. I think that definitely has influenced the healthcare system as well. The insurance side and the hospital side, like any hospital visit is like so much money. I feel like a trip in the ambulance is like $2,000, which is absurd,
Just to get there is a lot.
Yeah, that's even before you're like given treatment. I think that the cost and like money definitely has a lot to do with.
I have parents like on the older side, like in their 60s, and so we just recently had to call an emergency ambulance because my dad, and he smokes and all that shit. I haven't really thought about the whole pricing thing until you brought that up, so that's definitely gonna be scary if you can't even afford that.
Yeah, it's scary to think that you could like something could happen to you and then you could just be in debt. So you had to like get help, and there wasn't really anything you could do. Just like, what are you gonna do? Like, not have an ambulance,
If you don't have a car, you can't really. The only thing you can really do is maybe have a car, but still, you gotta pay the money, So it's like a loop.
And then you have to have like somebody drive you. If I was like having a heart attack, I would not I wouldn't want to get behind the wheel.
So like going on the money thing, if we were like to advance or like whatever medical really we have today, do you think money is needed for that?
Yeah, I think that like any medical advancement is going to require a lot of research. Because first you'd have to discover what you want to do, and then you'd have to put a ton of money into like actually creating it and then synthesizing whatever you like need. And all that's going to cost like a ton of money. And then there's like the cost of like manufacturing it and all that. But yeah, money is like a huge part of it, I would say. And like any advancement is going to require a lot of money. Hospitals today are pretty advanced. So anything that builds upon this is going to require like more money than we put into it originally.
With the amount of money that like factors into whether they raise the price of it, how do you feel about that? Like, what do you think about that?
I think that the price on the consumer side should not be influenced by that kind of stuff, because I just think that people should have access to medication that they need. Honestly, like if it was an ideal world, they shouldn't have to pay for it at all. I understand that, like, you know, you
Yeah.
probably do have to pay something for like manufacturing and all that kind of stuff. Whenever polio was solved, Jonas Salk didn't patent the formula penicillin so that everyone could get like treatment for it, and that he wouldn't make a ton of money, which I think is really noble. But that's like, I believe, a very rare case.
Do you think this kind of goes into companies prioritizing profits over people's health? Like, do you think that's kind of goes into that?
Yeah, definitely. I know that like in America, it is definitely a problem where I think it's a saying that like guidelines are written in blood. So you look at like any industry that has like strict safety guidelines, those are all caused by bosses wanting to make more money, and so they cut corners. Whether it be like aviation or like construction, like everything has had like a ton of deaths behind it. But yeah, I think that in history, it's been shown that time and time again, people in like a boss role will cut corners to make money. And so with medication, this is also happening where people like, I know Martin Shkreli received a lot of backlash. There's like a diabetes medication. I think he raised the price of it from like $20 to like 1,000, and there was really nothing that people could do. I think he went to jail for something. I don't know if it was that, but yeah, just I believe that anytime anyone's in power, they'll do what they can to like make as much money as they can, which often comes at the cost of the people working under them.
It doesn't really go into money, but my mom, she has diabetes, and so like she has to take these like shots or whatever to, and so
Yeah.
with all the like people who just want to stay skinny, who don't actually have diabetes or whatnot.
Yeah. My mom's the same way, where she's taking Ozempic, but it's because she has like medical issues. So she had like a hard time getting it. She was on like a different medication before this, but yeah, that's wild.
People who don't even need it are just doing it for like for their own little selfish reasons.
Yeah, just to like lose weight, which I guess
Which get like if you can't do it, maybe if you actually have a reason, I'll understand a little bit. But like just work out.
Yeah, as I understand it, it was mostly people like rich people doing it. Whenever South Park made a special on it, I think it was like $2,000 a month. Couldn't get it, so they like made it at home. They bought the chemicals from like India or China. I'm a fan of South Park in general. I think those guys are geniuses.
That's the thing. They make fun of everybody. It's not just one little group. It's like so like you can kind of get around it.
Yeah, I feel like most of their satire too. Like in the first few seasons, they definitely like were saying a lot of bad stuff just to like say it. Yeah, definitely as the series has gone on, they've like,
it's not just one little like oh my god, they're black or whatever like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of the times the jokes don't even stem from that. I don't remember like any time Timmy or Jimmy, the joke is always based around them doing something.
Yeah, I did love the Crips episode.
Yeah. Don't they like heal the feud between the Bloods and Crips?
There's pizza.
To round out the cancer conspiracy talk, upon doing all my research, I don't really think that they are hiding the cure for cancer. I think that people who think that like spread that information, it could be like harmful to people who actually have cancer, because like they could potentially not go to treatment and stuff. I think that they definitely like do what they can to squeeze as much money out of us as they can. But in my research, I didn't find anything that like there was a cure for cancer. It was mostly just people saying like they would do this, which I agree with. I couldn't find like anything where they were like suppressing information or anything.
That is a question I'm curious about. Other than America, do you think other countries could be close to finding it?
Yeah, I think that science happens like everywhere, constantly. Articles are being put out yearly. But I know that like a lot of research is being done with like animals, specifically like frogs. They produce like a slime that they coat themselves with that is
Yeah.
like antibacterial, and some of the compounds found in it have been found to be like medicinal. So I think that through like research with species like that, a lot of stuff can be done. And so yeah, the breakthrough probably wouldn't happen here, it'd happen in like Brazil or the rainforest. It's a big reason why I'm very for environmental conservation. If like we kill all the forests and stuff, all this information that we could have learned will be lost.
In like 10 years' time, everything could just be gone.
Yeah, it's not looking too good.
Hey, have you spoken to like pharmaceutical industries or like anyone like who around this like topic?
No, I haven't spoken to anyone. I considered starting like a small side gig as an investigative journalist, where I would investigate this further and like call companies and see what they had to say about it. Yeah, I figured that that would bear no fruit because everyone would just say that it's not true. I think the only people would know about the cure for cancer and like the suppression of it would be the people at the top of the company who are like responsible for it, and like maybe the direct scientists working on it, but like anyone that I could get in touch with would have no clue about it.
Do you think politics like take a big place in this? Because they are like they're hiding something.
I don't know if it's really politics as much as like money. Cuz like both sides of the aisle, like Democrats and Republicans are kind of in favor of more money. And so I think that if there was like if either a Democrat or Republican was presented with a like a graph that showed the difference in money between like selling a pill that cured cancer and then doing constant treatments for it, I think that like probably a lot of politicians would suppress it. But yeah, I can't say one way or another. I don't know like for sure. I'm just speculating.
Other than like cancer, do you see there as any other like companies are like copying them?
With COVID that happening and like seeing how the vaccines got rolled out with that and like the different companies and like how they gained like a lot of money during it, it was just kind of weird. I don't know if they're like suppressing anything or like any treatments or anything. Uh, I just think that they'll do whatever they can to make more money. If that is like maybe suppressing something that is beneficial for people, they would do that. Or they would price it so exorbitantly that it's unavailable to the public.
In 5 years, let's say that the cure for cancer was released to the public. How do you think the world would progress? Do you think it would get better or worse?
I think the world would undoubtedly be better. Just like unfathomable amounts of people have died from cancer. And just like having these people who are going through treatment right now, I don't know. I feel like it would make everyone's lives better. Because even if like you don't know anyone who was cured of cancer, just like I feel like knowing that as a human race we like eliminated it, I feel like everyone would feel better.
In my opinion, I think it would still just be like this. Like it would, like you said, it would be better, but they would probably make like people pay a lots of money still to just even get it.
This is a big thing that I saw being discussed online as well, is that like cancer has been being researched for so long and people have put so much money into it that whenever they do develop a cure, like people want to reap the benefits and they'll want to get kind of some of that money back. And so I think that they'd be like everyone would kind of want a piece of that pie for donating. And I
Yeah.
think that like yeah, like you said, it would only be available for the ultra rich. But that's kind of how like life already is, where if you're very poor, you have access to like lower quality food and just lower quality like everything. And so it's a lot harder to stay in shape and eat healthy and live healthy when you have to like worry about like when your main concern is your budget and not the healthiness of your food. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you. And like we even like said, like we were like speaking of it like for like maybe 5 minutes about that whole thing. So we had to be right about something if that's how long we talked about it.
I've been wrong about a lot of stuff for a lot longer. I recently, you know who Norm Macdonald is?
No, I don't know who that is.
He's my favorite comedian. He's
Uh,
passed away, but he had a joke where he said that he was talking to a vegetarian and she convinced him. He was like just talking to her and she was talking about being vegetarian and how killing animals is wrong, and he was like, "By God, I've been wrong my entire life about this." And then he said, "You know that feeling whenever you've been wrong your entire life? Well, you feel so bad you might as well just go down to the rope store." And then you and then you might as well just go down to the wobbly stool store and then the notebook store. Uh, he said it a lot funnier than that, but yeah, that was a funny joke that made me think of.
oh, okay. But like,
Norm made it a lot funnier. I butchered it so bad.
yeah, that's fine. You get 15 seconds to share a company, a social of yours, anything your mind wants. Go.
Go ahead
Oh,
and check out the Mega Monster Mash Variety Power Hour 3000 on YouTube, and go into your web browser and go into google.com and then press enter and then go
five,
into the search bar and press
three.
www.bartharleyjarvisworld.blogspot.com.
What up, guys? How's you doing? How are you doing? Sorry about that. Thank you for checking this out. If you like this, Cameron was a great guest, and yeah, and if you want to check him out some more, he and his other host Arthur are located on YouTube, as he just said. It's all linked down in the description if you want to check them out, and I'd love for you to subscribe and leave a like so you can get more of these episodes and more to come. Have a good day, and if you want to come on, leave a comment. Who knows? Maybe I'll subscribe. Maybe I'll get back to you. Anyways, have a good day. Peace.